welcome back, everybody. Right now, you're looking at new visuals at Statesville Regional Airport in North Carolina. That's north of Charlotte, where a plane has reportedly crashed, and it's happened just after 10 a.m. Eastern this morning. The crash occurred at the end of a runway. Now, adverse weather conditions were reported in the area at the time of the crash.
We're joined now by pilot and meteorologist JP Dice. JP, good to see you. Of course, this is a really tragic story. We've been trying to really comb through the details that we can with weather data, but also to flight-aware data showing that the plane had taken off from the airport, but was returning as it attempted to land, therefore crashed. So do you have any ideas, any insight as to what we're seeing unfold?
Yeah, usually when that happens, that means the airplane has taken off and you've run into some sort of technical issue, something is abnormal, and you're returning back to the field. So that could have been the case here. I don't think this was a test flight or just kind of what we call working the pattern. Certainly with the weather the way it was, one would not think you would do that. It was a situation where they're returning to the field for some reason. Now, if it were indeed something, a problem with the airplane, the weather conditions in place at that time would really make that more challenging. A lot of times the weather may be low like that. We're talking low ceilings, 300-400 feet ceilings, which is nothing that is going to be a problem for a jet aircraft, but you add a technical issue, and that compounds what you're dealing with. Certainly something we train in the simulator for.
JP, we're looking at the video here, and I don't know how long after this was taken, after the plane crashed, but do you think conditions could have rapidly deteriorated with this line of rain coming in and just caught them by off guard?
Now, I don't think that would have happened. That would be very unlikely. I think probably this jet was going somewhere. I looked on FlightAware myself. It looked as if it had a number of flights today set for parts of South Florida. Most likely, that's where the airplane was heading. I know I've taken off in airplanes before, and you get a warning light, you get some kind of abnormality, and the first thing you do, you return back to the field. And we brief that before we take off. We're like, if there's any kind of issues, once we get in the air, here's what we're going to do. We're going to land on this runway, and we're going to handle it like this. Now, when you do add in the fact that you do have low visibility and low ceilings, it makes that a much more difficult task, a higher workload than if you have a pretty, what we call, VFR day, where you have sunshine and you can look out the window and see the airport, not have to do a visual approach or come in especially low to stay underneath the clouds.
And JP, this is obviously seems to be a private airport, a private airfield in terms of the planes that are taking off here. Now closed because of this crash. But I'm just curious, we're 45 miles away from Charlotte, a massive airport hub. Is there a scenario in which this could impact any larger airports regionally? I'm thinking Charlotte, Atlanta, with a small airport shut down like this.
No, that's a satellite airport to the larger airports. In many cases, you have corporate operators that are based at those smaller airports because it's more convenient. It's easier in, easier out than the larger hub type airports. So that's why you see a lot of business aviation based at those kind of fields. I've been in the Statesville myself, and that's what it's really. It's maintenance facilities, and you have private operators, private aircraft that are based there. So I don't see any implications at larger surrounding airports. But yeah, a big concern today. Anybody in Statesville is going to be shut down for a while as they kind of figure all of this out and deal with the airplane, the damage from that airplane from the crash earlier today.
And we're looking at the runway itself is what, over 6,000 feet long. You don't think that it was? I'm looking at it's a smaller airplane itself. Do you think hydroplaning could have been a problem with this?
No, I don't think it ever landed. I think we ended up with a crash. I don't think, based on what I'm seeing, that the airplane even made contact with the ground. This looked like this was a crash returning back to the airport for whatever reason. We don't know at this point, but they were trying to come back they had taken off. They're trying to come back into Statesville, and it did not work out.
Yeah, just a tragic story. JP, always appreciate your insight coming on here to Fox Weather. I appreciate you speaking with us as we continue to learn more about this crash.
Yeah, thanks for the expertise, sir.
You bet.
Yeah.